Just let you go.
Look at that. It's you. Is that the same
That's skinny.
jumpsuit?
No, different shirt.
Okay.
I go for this look often.
I see.
It's slimming, Ashley.
Peekaboo.
Skinny Lauren. That was the thinnest year of my life.
Huh.
I think I ran to have that photo taken and I ran home afterward.
I have the Lauren Rachel Talk Show. Take one.
Hi everybody, welcome back to the Lauren Rachel Talk Show. I'm sorry I've been out of town, but I'm back and I'm here with my friend Ashley Fuey, Esquire. For those of you that don't know what that means, she's not a knight, she's actually an attorney, which is so much fun. Hello.
But a night would be way more fun.
That would be cooler.
Yeah.
I feel like you could kick some ass.
Probably.
So I thought it'd be fun to have you on today because you tell me you spill the tea all the time, but we can help others with your magical legal advice, and you're just a well of knowledge.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, you kept me out of jail more than once.
Yeah, but not that one time.
Not that one time, but I mean, you don't practice in Georgia, so we'll talk about that later. Yes. Okay, I've got a few questions for you. You ready?
Uh-huh.
You can ask me things too. I don't care.
Okay.
Let's just talk like normal, but I wanted to make sure I didn't forget to ask you certain things, so I wanted it down.
All right.
First one. All right, darling.
Yes.
Spill the beans.
On.
What's the juiciest courtroom drama you've ever witnessed or heard of? Don't worry, we won't tell the judge.
Okay. So courtroom was like very early on in my practice. I
Okay.
am not in courtrooms anymore.
You didn't love it?
No, it's terrifying.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, hi.
Judges are really intimidating.
I'm usually on the bad side of the bench, so yeah.
Yeah, and then like I did a jury trial once, and you're just like, it's a popularity contest, right? You're just like, hello, 12 strangers. Do you like the way I look? Do you like the way I speak? If I say a word that you don't like, you may not rule in my favor. And it's just, there's too many variables, and I like things that I have like logic, that things
Sure.
make sense.
Okay.
But my early legal career was very shitty,
Okay.
and that's not me trying to be funny.
Shitty how? What happened?
Almost every single case that I had for like a year involved poop of
This is already so
one kind or
great.
another, and I was like, I'm doomed for a shitty career. Like one of my very first cases, I worked for an insurance company and we
Okay.
did car accidents.
Car accidents.
And
Okay.
you know, I was in court, just a regular case management conference where we're checking
Okay.
the judge, and I read the case file, so I had an idea of what happened.
Sure.
But this man shows up in court and just tells the judge, like, I can't be guilty because I was so drunk that when I was in this bar in PB, I defecated.
You can say shit on my show.
No, he said defecated.
Oh.
And
His
had
attorney gave him that word.
he was by himself, shockingly. No one
Wow.
took that case.
Oh.
No,
Defecated. Okay.
he said that he had defecated himself because of how drunk he was, and that he had feces, this is reenactment, from his head to his boot. And I'm in court, like, baby attorney, like, how am I supposed
Was this your
to?
first year of practice?
This was like my third time in court ever.
That's amazing.
I know. And
How
so,
did you leave court after that? I would be there for everything.
Yeah, so
That's amazing.
what he did was he was so drunk and he got on some dude's motorcycle and like laid it down and caused a ton of damage, in addition to it having to be cleaned because of
He rode on someone's
not
motorcycle
road. It was parked in a parking lot.
and he straddled someone's bike covered in shit and knocked it over.
Yes, and I have to ask for the money to repair the bike, and I never thought this guy would have like the cojones to show up in court and actually tell the story, but there he is.
Was it for a DUI and that's why he said not guilty because I couldn't have ridden it because I was too drunk to ride?
No, he basically said like, I'm not responsible to pay the cost of this repair because
You shit on my bike and I wrecked it. What do you mean?
Yeah, so that's one of my shitty stories.
Tell me all of them. This is the greatest thing. I'm just gonna put these away. Okay.
Okay, and then
Here we go.
I know. Thankfully, I don't do this anymore, and thankfully, there's no more.
I
shitty
might
stories
switch
in my
careers
life.
entirely. This is the greatest thing I've heard all day.
So, I have told you this story before, we're gonna say it again. I was in court for an eviction,
Okay.
and it was day of trial,
Okay.
and I show up. Thankfully, post-COVID, we can now appear
Okay.
virtually. So I'm in my parents' house in Orange County, because that's where the trial was,
Okay.
in my little suit jacket and sweatpants, because that's my new courtroom attire. And
Like flannel pajama pants in the bottom,
Yeah.
business on the top.
Obviously, it's a mullet, but for court. And I'm ready to go to trial, and some other attorney, unaffiliated, says this trial needs to be continued. The other attorney can't appear, he's sick. And the judge is like, okay, what kind of sick? He has dysentery.
Nice.
And as he says it, the only reference for dysentery I have is the Oregon Trail.
I
I didn't know that this was a real
almost got
thing.
stuck on that math problem.
Yeah. So I was like, was he also bitten by a snake? So I Googled dysentery and realized that it's just you have an upset stomach. Like there's
you
so
have
many,
diarrhea.
there's so many other ways you could have said this.
Dysentery.
But
You should have said scurvy to make it exciting. It's like,
Right.
I'm also a seaman.
Yeah.
I got scurvy.
So he goes with dysentery. Long story short, my trial gets continued for days, and I am stuck in Orange County, live in San Diego.
Oh, you had to stay up there
I
because
had to
this guy
stay
had
up
the
there
shits?
because yes.
Love
So
it. How fun.
So the case settles pre-trial, but
That
I'm
is
still
juicy.
there for like yes. So I'm still there for like 5 days, but you know I'm a petty bitch.
Yeah.
So I'm in the courtroom, and this man has not shown up. So I go to the bailiff, and I was like, hey, do you know this guy? He's like, yeah, he's in our court all the time.
Oh, yeah?
And I was like, interesting. Did you hear about why
Why he's not here? And I'm
And
still in
they're
Orange
like,
County.
Yes, we were all talking about this because all of the court staff, they all talk about everyone.
Of course.
So I don't practice in Orange County often, so I was like, I'm just gonna do my
I'm
dirty
always
work.
nice to those people, by the way,
You
because
have to be.
it just makes life better. I charm them, and then I'm like,
Yeah. So
in case stuff goes down, you know?
Yeah, well, I stirred the pot. And unfortunately for this man, his name was Larry.
Of course Larry had the shits.
And so I tell the bailiff, I've been calling him Larry Dysentery. And now all of Orange County courts know this
Larry,
man
Larry Dysentery?
as Larry Dysentery.
Does he know it was you?
I mean, probably. But yeah, don't come into open court and say you have dysentery.
That's really funny.
Yeah, so now that I'm not practicing.
It's like a Zoom call. It's like, Your Honor, I wish I could be there today. Oh,
He did the
But-
next day.
um,
The following day, he had to like appear before the judge, and he was like,
he literally was like,
yeah.
He's like, I got about 3 more minutes and it's starting to burn.
Yeah.
Who
So-
does that?
I don't know. He was like an
Wow.
80-year-old man.
Wow. Have you
Yeah.
seen anything like violent in a courtroom?
No, because I do civil. Yeah.
You would think. But I was at a court once and I saw a fight break out. It was like, they'd have like security running and delayed our stuff because we were waiting to go talk to somebody.
Yeah,
Mine was, like, petty
I would
shit.
like to say that like those things you see on TV are my life, but they're not.
Oh, they're my life. Why is it I have more of that than you?
Shockingly, Suits is not real.
Yeah, but Meghan Markle,
Ooh,
chef's kiss.
yeah. The
She's lovely.
fashion in that show. If
Yeah,
only.
That was actually one of my questions for you.
Ooh.
Is there a reason the rest of the women attorneys dress like men? Because you look great, but
Well,
what's going on
thank
there?
you.
What's going on there? Is
Well-
that like I'm powerful, I must wear a tuxedo? Like what are they doing?
So, I think part of it, because like there's really not a cute suit. I mean, because we have to wear suits, and there are
you have to
boxes-
wear a suit?
pretty much. Like I
Is there a rule somewhere that says you're an attorney, you have to wear a suit?
Yes.
Oh, that sucks.
So I was in a courtroom in San Diego. An attorney walked in pants, female, and the judge kicked her out of his courtroom until she came back in a skirt.
Oh, so you have to wear a skirt?
Because pants
Suit?
were too masculine for this female attorney.
That's
Yeah.
weird.
I've also seen a judge throw a male attorney out of their courtroom for wearing jeans when he didn't know he had an appearance. Like, he found out super late, so he came, he was like, I apologize for my appearance, and the judge said, it's fine, just go change and come back when you're ready for my courtroom.
Back to the suit. We're going with like 1980s Barbie suit. So we're talking about like a jacket and a skirt?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, that's why.
And nylons, that's for pantyhose?
Okay.
I haven't bought
No.
those in like 20 years. I'm gonna date
This
myself.
is why Zoom is so great, though, because I just own a ton of suit jackets now,
Okay.
and no one knows what's happening underneath.
Well, I know. And now everybody knows.
Yeah, but not everyone knows, but I'm not going to put that on.
Basic instinct.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just kicked my mic.
You got really
I
excited
got
about
really
it.
excited about that. I really, woo! Don't
No.
want to show off my shoes tonight, but okay.
I mean, I think, and I practice in San Diego, so fashion is not what it is the rest of the state. Like, we're a very casual city.
Yeah, that's why I
So-
own a lot of flip flops. Still, it's appropriate that I wear these to a nightclub.
Yeah. So I think we're getting away from the like
Okay.
structured suit,
Sure.
but it was kind of our only option for a really long time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
But
the shoulder pads are gone. How do you feel about that?
They're coming back.
No.
Yeah.
I feel like no one has enough of a neck to really pull off the shoulder
Well,
pads.
and I'm built like a linebacker, so I shouldn't have any extra assistance.
Same girl.
Yeah.
Same.
I'm just a linebacker who stopped growing in the 3rd grade.
When I don't do comedy or this, I throw horses around for a living, so I'm pretty sturdy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna live to be 100. Did I tell you that my grandmother's 96?
You did. Mine is 92.
I'm gonna live a really long time, and honestly, I all credit to her, but I don't want to be here that long. So I've intentionally gained weight lately. It's growing great. I might start smoking. I've definitely started drinking. I don't want to be here till 96. She broke her back putting on her underwear. I'm good. It's horrible. Yes, more than once. She's very delicate. I don't want to be. I don't want to be here that long.
I was gonna say learn from your mistakes, but you have to keep putting underwear on. That's kind of.
I mean, I would just give up on those. No, I don't even like socks already. So by then. I mean, no holds barred.
The world appreciates that 96-year-old women are putting on
underwear.
Unless you have another one of those.
Mall shoppers on the first floor really appreciate that.
God. No.
Yeah, so anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I have to look forward to. I don't want to be here that long if that's what's gonna happen.
I mean, there are other ways. Okay, my cousin was just telling me that like
Well, I started drinking heavily. Is that gonna help?
I think it's Holland. Is it Holland? I don't know. Don't quote me on this. But Holland allows like euthanasia.
Well, I'm not gonna like put myself down like a cat, but I think I might just
Well,
accelerate the process.
What? But then you're unhappy.
I'm having fun. No, I'm having a blast.
Okay.
Ice cream for breakfast.
Oh, that does sound nice.
I love my life.
Okay.
I was wear black every day, and I'm good.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
Then do this.
Kind of.
I
Yeah.
fully support.
I think the weight gain came, and then I was like, I'm just gonna go with it, because then I'll shave off a few years. Next question for you. Let's talk about your dating life.
Oh God.
Any chance you've ever used your legal skills to get out of a bad date? Asking for a friend, of course.
Well, no, because most dates don't know that I'm a lawyer.
Oh yeah, you do the thing where you don't tell them what you do.
Yeah, because if you immediately tell them like you're too smart for me, or I'm scared of you, or imply that I'm boring because of my job, so I go with interior decorator.
I love that.
Thank
It's
you.
artsy and fun.
Yeah.
I know it's insult to other careers, but I work in healthcare, and so I would tell people that I was either a waitress or a hairdresser, because all my exes are with hairdressers. They're all cosmetologists. Let's make it fancy. They're all cosmetologists.
Okay.
And yeah, it's just funny. So that's what I would go with, is that I was a cosmetologist.
Yeah.
I still have my nail license. I'm a manicurist.
Well,
I
where
couldn't
you?
even make it through cosmetology school.
Oh.
Wink, wink.
Okay. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
interior decorator is one of those careers where like everyone knows what it is, but no one's asking follow-up questions.
I like that.
Yeah. Where versus, hi, I'm an attorney. Oh, what kind of law do you practice? I have a cousin who got a traffic ticket. Can you help them with it?
Oh, that's like everyone telling me about their back pain. I don't want to hear about your back pain. Like yours, I don't mind. But like, hey, Jet, I don't want to hear about your back pain. All right. There's another guy in the room. He's the sound guy. I don't want to hear about his back pain. In case you guys missed the memo, I'm also a chiropractor. Mostly adjust horses now. They don't talk back. It's great.
Thankfully, Jet is not a horse.
So you haven't had to use it to get out of anything. What's the worst date you've been on? Can you think of one that was bad?
There are just so many to choose from.
I mean, how do you abbreviate 20 years?
Oh, I have not been dating 20 years. No.
Oh, I dated for 20 years. It was terrible.
No, I've not been dating 20 years.
I dated in 3 major cities. All bad.
Yeah.
Utah was good though. They want to get married there.
Well, I feel like if they're at the age where they're like out and dating, that they've done something wrong. Because don't people in Utah get married at like 18?
I was out there, and it's part of the culture. I was engaged at 19 out there.
Yeah.
And I did not go through with it. I went to college instead, and that family was like, we don't feel like we've lived because we don't have our grandchild yet. I was like, I'm 19, so maybe I can start drinking first.
Behind the ball.
Yeah. But they don't like, the culture was weird.
Yeah.
And I remember I was at a wedding out there once, and they get married so young that this, and no offense, I got Mormon friends, but like the culture out there is super saturated, and they just don't let them live life at all. And these kids.
The only thing I know about Mormons is Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Oh, isn't that fun? No, I like the wives, the multiple wives of that one guy with like the mane of hair.
Oh, the sister wives?
Oh, juicy. But I went to a wedding where these people got married so young that their parents had to sign some sort of documents to allow them to get married. I think they were like 15 or 16. Like they were barely driving. And they were so young that their wedding was a soccer theme, like a child's party. They stood in front of a goal net, and the cake, guess what the cake looked like?
A soccer ball?
Yes, it was.
No!
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
So it was a wedding / quinceañera.
Yes, those are my people.
Okay.
It was a good time. So, what I would do, because I like trouble and mischief, is I would buy them decanters with brandy and make a little juicy basket, and I'd bring those into their reception. Because I feel like, you really skipped a whole decade of life. Like, live a
Yeah, but also giving them brandy, you're taking them back to the 50s. Who drinks brandy?
Yeah, no, it was fancy. It went with the decanter. It's like a liqueur. You put it on the counter.
Okay.
And in their case, they're probably never going to drink it, but if someone should stop by.
No. Brandy?
But what do you put in the decanter?
Whiskey?
Oh, all right. I'm glad you didn't say tequila. That's awful. That'd be a bad surprise. Have a glass of this. Have a glass of tequila.
Welcome to drinking. Here's tequila.
Oh, what does that ever not burn? Like Patron. Like, why was it the thing in
No.
college? Patron.
No, I've never been a tequila drinker. The only time I ever drink tequila is if I am too drunk to realize that I am drinking tequila.
Yeah.
That's the only time.
That'll do it. And then other things that I remember drinking, I started drinking, my friends were like 26 when I was a senior in high school. I went to like 3 high schools, and my parents were like, she needs friends. We'll overlook this. They knew I had a fake ID. Like, they were cool.
Oh.
They were very cool. So now I don't really do that stuff anymore because I did all of it.
Yeah.
But by the time I was like 28, I was like, I'm
And
exhausted.
this is the opposite. I went to college at 17. Instead of my parents signing for my marriage, they had to sign for my gym membership.
Yes.
Yeah.
They had to sign for me to be able to work. I started working at like 14.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I don't want an allowance because you decide what I'm doing with the money if you give it to me, so I'm just going to do my thing. But the worst alcohols, I would say, Jaeger was a big thing in college. Don't know why. It's disgusting. It's like molasses. It tastes like licorice. Disgusting. It's like thick. It's
Hard
so
pass.
thick.
Hard pass.
The other one's Goldschlager. Remember that trend?
Oh, yes. I rode that train.
Oh, why does everyone pick the Bernie shit? It was Goldschlager at parties and like
Because it had
Patron.
gold in it.
Because we're fancy.
Yes. At
Oh,
19,
no.
I was very impressed with my alcohol.
Oh no, I was real smart. I chose tequila rose for my drink of choice because who doesn't want to be sick for 4 days?
What is a tequila rose?
It's basically strawberry milk with tequila in it. It was disgusting.
Nope.
And I would chug it.
I'm scared for you.
It's so bad. And then I had something once called jungle juice.
Oh, yes.
And hunch punch and
Hunch punch sounds terrifying.
I think it's like
That
I
sounds
think
like
it's
a crime.
I think it's like a ratchet version of jungle juice. I think.
Like if someone told me they got arrested for hunch punching, I would believe them.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it sounds like a really risky sex move too. Also, we make our own mead. That's not bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Again, we're back, but like Renaissance at this point.
Yeah, we make. My husband has weird hobbies. We are good at a botany. I'm gonna say botany.
Okay.
Horticulture.
All right. Can I tell you that
I love Arizona.
Yeah. Okay. So I went mead tasting.
Okay.
And I was in Maine visiting a friend that had moved out there. She had to work, so her sister and I found out that there's like a wine trail in Maine. And Maine is known for blueberry wine.
That's fun.
It was fun. So I find this place.
Better than lobster.
Yeah. No, I love lobster.
Not mead.
No, not mead.
Continue.
Okay. So we go to this place and we're super excited because like they have wine and mead. And I was like, mead is cool and hip and I'm trying to be that.
Yeah, you have to have a monocle to drink it.
Yeah, and so we go to this farm.
Oh.
And we're the only ones there.
Love it. So you get to have all the things.
My friend's sister was like, do we get out of the car? I was like, we're in this. If nothing else, this is a good story.
This is happening.
So the reason I wanted to go to this farm was because you could do apple picking. And I always wanted to pick a fruit.
That's so adorable.
Thank you.
You're a pumpkin patch kind of gal.
I'm, again, never done it. These are things that I want to do, don't do. So I was like, I'm going to go pick an apple because I'm in Maine and that's what people do here.
Is that what they do?
In my mind, they do. Who knows?
All this is what we're doing
So,
for Instagram.
The
creepiest
man of all time walks out of this like shanty of a house. And I was like,
wearing overalls with like the nips out.
he did have a shirt on, but there were overalls involved.
See? How did I know?
So I was like, okay, no, this is bad. But then a dog came out and everything changed. I was like, he's got a dog. We're fine.
That's how like half the abductions have ever happened in the world. Like, look at the puppy, get in the van.
like literally texted my friend and I was like, here's where we are. If we don't come home in an hour, this man did it.
I go to a lot of weird farms with seeing horses, so I relate. I drop my pin a lot. I'm like, I'm here at this stable.
So we continue our journey
Okay.
into this.
Orchard?
No. We go into the house.
You went in the house?
I went in the house.
Was it in his bathtub?
There was no bathtub.
Oh.
There's like a half door.
He's a
There,
sponge bath guy.
I don't know. It was like 3 stairs down,
Okay.
and then like a half door that he like.
What's like a half door? Like a saloon? Like a
No, like it was a full door, but only like half.
like a
height.
stable? Like a horse head could pop over the top?
No, it was enclosed. It was a full door, but
This is a
half
very
the
strange
size. I know.
house.
So he like ducked down.
Did he just
to
like
go
find
in,
pieces of things and make a house out of it?
possibly.
Okay.
So he goes, sorry, like my wife and the dogs are back there. That's where we live. And I was like, there's a wife here. We're safe.
Oh, sure.
So he brings out his wine and mead for us to do the tasting. And it looks like it has been sitting unrefrigerated for close to a year.
Because it is.
Probably.
Mhm.
But we don't want to be rude. This is like the plight of all women. We put ourselves in terrible situations because we don't want to be
We're
rude.
gonna be polite. I'm rude. I'm rude
Yeah.
now. It's going better
So
for me.
we sit and we drink the mead. And so afraid of being impolite, I bought this man's mead.
It's
did.
one step above bathtub gin.
Left it in Maine, but I did buy it. And I tell him, thank you
Wow.
so much for this experience. We would like to go apple picking now. For him to say, oh no, those apple trees died years ago.
Ah,
And I
it was
didn't
always
get
a
to go
apple
apple picking.
picking.
I know.
Oh wow.
So this is my meat story.
Well, after the show today, I'll take you my sprouts. You can have whatever you want.
Okay, I'll
Pick whichever
I
one you
got
want,
super into
Ashley.
cider, and I felt like mead was the next best thing, and it is not.
No, it's different. Mead is honey wine.
Yeah, no, I learned all about it. He had a book of like, oh,
Touch
this
my
is why I
mic.
can't do this.
Don't touch it.
He had a book of like all the different ways to make mead from like the 1700s.
Oh wow.
And he was like, if you're interested, you can go on this website, not Amazon, and buy this book and learn how to make mead. And I was like, but sir, that's what you do. Why
Why would I need
why
to?
would I do that?
Why would I don't want to steal your thunder.
Yeah. So that's my one and only experience with mead.
My husband and I got into a mead fight last night because I opened a cabinet looking for my missing iPhone. I'm missing an iPhone, by the way, people. If you know where my iPhone is, it's purple. It has pictures of my feet on it. Don't ask questions, but it's missing. So anyway, I was looking for this iPhone. I opened a cabinet and we've got the mead going again. And I'm like, I thought we were taking a break from the mead, and here's why. If we don't sell it,
Drink it.
sure do.
I feel like that's a win-win.
Yes, but we've gone through like 5 batches, okay? So we need to I'm like, let's just limit it to the holidays. And I opened the cabinet and I was like, is it Groundhog Day? What holiday are we celebrating? Because we are brewing.
What
We're
about
brewing.
Easter mead.
It's late.
Doesn't it take a while?
It's just, I mean, I guess I can't really say anything. I'm one of those horrible people that, I'm not home much and my Christmas tree is still up. And I had a Valentine's Day balloon next to it for a while, and then there was a shamrock. I'm like, we're just gonna decorate it with every new holiday.
You should.
It's cute. I mean, it doesn't look Christmassy. It's got like donuts and stuff on it. So it's just adorable.
I mean,
But-
indoor plants are really becoming a thing. So next step,
I told you,
year-long Christmas
horticulture.
tree. Yes.
I'm a horticulturist.
If you were able to keep the tree alive this whole time, that would be quite impressive.
I'm pretty sure it's from Target, so that's not how that went. But
Okay.
I like to think that I could.
Well, it could have been part of your horticulture.
Yeah, no, it would have caught on fire if it were real by now. So, yeah. So the meat guy, was that similar to some of your worst dates ever?
That was the closest I thought I'm gonna die.
Oh, not me. Really? You didn't have any dates where you're like, oh, I should not be here.
Well, plenty of those, but never because I thought I was gonna die.
Oh. Did I tell you about mine where I thought somebody might kill me?
No, but I had a date where the guy was gonna kill himself.
Oh, that's fun. So you
Yeah.
were a free counselor.
For that night I was. Yeah, that
Who
was.
was on a date and it's like, I just need a friend? Like, that's kind of sad, but like, whoa.
It was heartbreaking, but
There's
also,
hotlines.
like, how do I end up in this situation? Like,
You're
we
too
went
nice.
out for drinks.
You're too nice. I'm too
Factual.
nice too. Yeah.
Like, we went out for drinks. He drank excessively.
I figured there was something there.
And
Mead?
then-
Was it mead?
There was no mead involved. This was before mead was a thing.
No?
Well, mead's been a thing for a while.
I mean, it's making a comeback.
No, he just got super drunk and then was like, I can't drive home because I already have 3 DUIs.
Oh, that's a great sign.
I was like, I'm a lawyer. Don't tell me these things.
No, you're an
And-
interior decorator and you felt comfortable with you sitting on your comfy couch.
No, he was not in my house. No. And he
Did you
was
drive
like,
yourself to said location?
Of course.
Good job. You're the only friend I never really worried about because
I appreciate
I have
that.
friends that like get in cars with strangers. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? You're insane.
Yeah, I like driving myself. Mostly for like the quick exit.
Yeah.
But also
You don't have to
safety.
do the whole my shoe is filling up with blood, limp away thing.
Never tried that in my life. Never thought to try that.
Oh, early in my dating career, my excuse used to be that I liked women, but then that became like trendy at first before it was like, so then the guys liked that, and I was like, well, this isn't working. And I pretend that I was French, but I don't know a lot of French, so that didn't work. And so just run away.
Yeah, I wish that I was better at leaving,
Oh,
but like I stick it out because I give people like far too many chances.
yeah.
I was like, it can't actually be this bad, and then somehow it gets worse.
So,
and I'm
so
like,
he was just a real downer with the alcohol and
Oh,
just it went off the
it
rails.
was bad, and we ended up
Here, I'm an attorney.
On-
Let's not do this. 3
on a
DUIs.
street corner with me telling him,
Is this San Diego?
yeah, I was like, I will sit here with you until you get like offered to buy this man an Uber
Oh no.
so that he could go back to his trailer that he lived in.
Oh, was that the one that talked to you about Jesus, but then told you about his trailer? And was that you? I had a friend that went on a date with a guy, and then he started bragging about his mobile home, but then talking about that he was a swinger, but then also trying to talk to her about Jesus. I'm like, don't mix the things. Like,
No, but I like that you think that would have happened to me.
pick a lane, sir. You can't have
Can't
all
all
three.
be one lane.
I mean,
His lane.
he's got his own lane for sure.
Yeah.
That was a different friend then, but it was
Yeah. But thank you.
That was one of the best
I
dates
love
I've
that
ever
you
had.
think that would have happened to me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, given this one, I figured
Oh,
that was
it
you.
was so bad. Like I've never had to talk someone like literally off the ledge.
That's sad.
It was sad, and shockingly,
Well, you were
the
his
next
ray of hope.
day he asked me out again.
Of course he did, because you're his little ray of sunshine.
I was like, sir,
Did he have any memory of what had happened?
yes.
He's like, sorry, I got a little.
Yeah, and he's
Dark
like,
for
but
a
we should
minute.
try that again. I had a good time. I was like, if that's your good time, I don't want to see your bad
I
time.
had a good time.
Don't want to see your bad time. So
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. I feel so bad that there are people that have some mental health issues, and it's like they don't realize sometimes normal social cues and like oversharing, right? Like if you have some of those things, that's fine, but like maybe don't unload on somebody on a first date. Like that's not, we're not your counselor, right?
I am absolutely the person that happens to.
Yeah, well, me too. That's the guy I thought was gonna kill me. So I went on a date with somebody. Well, this is my first mistake. Met him at Applebee's. Agreed to it. No problem. I was in
never been
college.
to an Applebee's.
You're not missing anything. It's microwave food. Okay.
Okay.
Bargain microwave Americana. It's real bad. Real bad. And if you never had like microwave macaroni, it doesn't stay. Right.
Okay.
It's got the extra little chunks to it because it's like not fresh. So I mean, they're fine. Like I was never after somebody's wallet. Like I had my own career, didn't care, whatever. I'm like, fine, someplace chill. Especially a first date. Like I usually like to meet for coffee anyway. When you want to grab dinner, fine. So I meet this guy at Applebee's, but then he's like, here's the 2 for $20 menu. Okay, so we're gonna narrow it down. We're narrowing
He's
it
a
down.
decisive man. We like this.
We're narrowing it down. I'm like, okay. And this was when I had first moved to Georgia for college, and I had said I had moved from Utah before that. And he goes, oh, I was in Utah for a while. And I said, for what? Because this is a normal conversation. For what? And he goes, well, I had some health issues. So I was in a hospital for a few years. What kind of health issues?
Coma.
Well, I would hope so. I'm like, hey, are you from the 50s? Are you a time traveler? No, it wasn't fun like that. No, it was a mental hospital. And he disclosed to me, he goes, well, I had to stay there for a while because I used to hurt animals. And I'm an animal chiropractor and I love animals and all things furry, so that made me very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And not saying this person was a serial killer, but every serial killer did start with animals.
No,
and
it's
a
like one
segue.
of the trifecta.
Number one thing. Like
Yeah.
they hurt animals.
Dropped on their head as a child is the second one. And
Really?
like bad relation. Oh yes, I listened to far too much true crime.
And then they hated their mother. It was
Yes, that's the serial killer trifecta.
like, okay, so red flag, but the guy got help, whatever, seemed like a nice person, but like, that's not something to share with anybody, let alone our first date. So this is our first date conversation. Like, this was the
Is
intro.
it bad that I'm so jaded that I'm like, I like that he's showing you his red flag.
well, gosh, 22-year-old Lauren didn't learn how to cut things off early enough, so Lauren got in his car, and Lauren went to an Air Force base because he wanted to show me the planes.
Was he in the Air Force?
He was a mechanic, but I thought he was a pilot. He wasn't a pilot.
Can you imagine him just like sneaking you on the Air Force base? I'm not in the Air Force, I just want to show you the plane.
I'm not even sure. I remember we couldn't stay long. So,
oh God.
But I did make it back okay, but that was like one situation where I really should have ended it at the cheese dip. I'm like, thank you for the chips, I'm gonna go.
I've had a friend tell me she like sets a timer on her phone
Oh, well, that's good.
for an hour, and if she's not enjoying it in that first hour and the timer goes off, she just
I
says,
left a butt cake in the oven.
thanks, I'm not enjoying myself, and she leaves. Yeah.
Well, if that's how she should just meet for coffee. Just keep it light.
Yeah, and it's also how she gets out of paying for drinks.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, dating in California was really rough because it's more of a social thing. Like, if you want a relationship, that's not really a place that's part of the culture as much. It's a little harder. Like, I'll err on the side of like, if you're a relationship person, places like the Midwest, Utah, Alaska, like those are like the more relationship. You can find a relationship anywhere, but I feel like it's more of like wild fun and people in their 30s, 40s, and 50s acting like they're in their 20s is San Diego to me.
It's Neverland.
Yes. And I feel like Atlanta was a lot like that too. I was in school there for 8 years. I did undergrad and my doctorate and bought all my own drinks, and and obviously my standards were much lower than they should have been because I was at Applebee's. Okay, so but he paid for my 2 for whatever.
I mean,
2 for $20.
So far, everything I'm hearing about this man is green
Such a
flags.
winner. Such a green flags. Yeah, I'm actually going to be writing a book about my dating experiences because there were some doozies.
Yeah, if you need a co-author, I got you.
Yeah.
This is why I've taken a year off. I pushed pause. I need my
I took
sanity
3 off
back.
once.
Yeah.
I was like, this was bad.
It's necessary.
Yeah.
There is
So.
a group on Facebook for women who are dating.
Okay.
You post
You're
the
horrible.
person that you're about to go on a date with and say, is this anyone's husband? Because it
shit.
happens so often
Really?
that now we need
That's
to
sad.
warn each other.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
That's actually one of my jokes that I tell when I do stand-up. I say that men don't like that we use filters on our photos, but they use filters to make the wife and kids disappear.
That's quite funny.
It's true.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, yeah, I actually dated a guy off and on for 4 years and ended up, his wife called me like 6 years after that. She's like, this is Mercedes. I know about you. I'm like, I have a Mercedes. We have so much in common already. Tell me more. I
Also
know
her
it.
husband. You have in
Well,
common.
we had that in common, but I asked him if he was dating anybody. He said no.
Well, he wasn't lying. Again, green flag.
It's like so horrible. It's just so horrible. Yeah, that's not my style. Rockin' dude, but that was his vibe.
Okay.
I thought he was interesting.
I think I've gone without dating a married man so far.
That was the one I found out about. And then there's one I'm still not sure. He said he lived on a boat.
Oh yeah, that's very common in San Diego.
Did he really live on the boat? Or was
I
that
was
like,
invited to the boat.
did it look like a small sailboat?
Okay, I got as far as having to get in the dinghy to get to where his boat was anchored, and I was like, if I have to take this tiny little boat to your boat, no. Now, if this guy had like a full beautiful tender and said my boat is so big that I can't dock it here,
How big was this boat, Ashley?
well, never got that far because I didn't get the dinghy. It was a dinghy, and it was late at night, and I was
yeah.
like,
What is with that, Cindy? Like, I don't want to be in your port, man. Like,
he wants to be in yours.
I think he did. I think he did. And I'm sorry, I am more of a yacht kind of gal.
Same. Like, I feel like I give off yacht energy, and he was bringing dinghy energy.
He was bringing pontoon vibes. You're like, is this a floating trailer? I feel like it is.
I
Do you
will
catch
say, though,
gator in this thing?
As a kid, I was like, living in a houseboat would be the coolest thing ever.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
But then someone was telling me,
Did you like Gilligan's Island? You want to see what would happen? Like, what if I
you're
get
far
lost?
too young for Gilligan's Island.
Reruns.
True.
Okay. You know what it is. You got the reference.
I did.
Reference.
This is a thing where people are like, well, you're a lawyer, you'll know this. I was on a date with a guy, and he was telling me about how he was living on boats, because he like worked down there and would just like find the boats where no one had been there in a while, and was like, I can adversely possess these people's boats.
Is he squatter? He was squatting a boat?
Yes, and he was asking me how he could legally take title to these people's boats if they're not there long enough, and he just keeps living on them.
So you dated a homeless man?
Many.
Me too! How does that happen?
I have been hit on by more homeless men.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Why do I bother doing my hair every day? Why do I
I
bother?
don't. This is just for you.
Oh, thank
not
you.
the homeless men.
I've had a few. I had a guy I went on like 1 or 2 dates with, and he kept getting really pushy about staying on my couch, and I was like, this is weird. And then I noticed he had like a ton of clothes in his trunk, and he's like, oh, I'm going to the laundromat. I'm like, you're always going to the laundromat? And they were already folded. And I was like, that happened to me more than once.
They were folded. Green flag.
He's tiny. He's a tiny homeless man.
Come on. We're just looking at this from the wrong lens.
Yeah, I think the guy dated me so he'd have a sofa to crash on.
I'm sure that happens.
I guess. I mean,
It's gotta happen.
that's why I didn't feel bad. Like, I had a really great year 2019 when I did that pageant, and I had 3 dates for Valentine's Day. I regret nothing.
You shouldn't.
I had one bring me coffee, and then I went to lunch with somebody else and did dinner with somebody else, and like it was fun, and it was like, I feel popular. This is great. Because I used to be like, you know, a little nerdy in school and stuff, and I was like, oh, this is my glow up. I'm gonna take it. This is fine.
Yeah.
And I went through hobos and and people that are potentially homicidal and
Just me and the meat guy. That's the only.
you and the meat guy.
That's the
Oh.
only potential.
And then the few that made it past that I actually dated, I was like dating like every boozy in town. Like the kind of drunks that would fill up my wine bottles with water before they left, so I wouldn't notice they drank my wine when I was in the bathroom. Like those kind of guys. Classy.
There's no green flag there. I can't spin this.
Well, I noticed it after. I know.
Yeah, I can't spin that. That's bad.
They were handsome. That was
Green
the
flag.
green flag.
Green flag.
I heard Brad Pitt's a good time too. Just saying.
A lot of kids.
Yes,
a
they
lot
do.
of kids.
His kids are beautiful though.
Well, yeah.
I mean, he probably ruined Christmas, but with the tree up all year, you can celebrate anytime. So.
Take 1 kid per month. Christmas
Yeah,
for you.
yeah. Let's see. Have you ever won a case just by using your wit and charm? It's working on us today.
All of my cases are won by my wit and charm.
I love that.
I will say though, like, I'm the anti-attorney. Like, I'm friendly and I just want things to get resolved, and I'm not adversarial, and it throws people off.
Mm-hmm.
They like don't know how to deal with me. They're
Oh,
like,
because they're used to having it. Like people having a different.
they're used to assholes, and I'm not an asshole unless I have to be.
Why is it like that? Do people the attorney thing start off with we're so professional that we have to be very serious, and then it just kind of veered into I'm just a raging asshole? Like how did it get to be this bad?
I blame television. I
Oh.
really do. Like, it's probably not accurate in any way, but like attorneys are depicted in a certain way on TV that the general public expects them to act that way, and that's just not who I am. And
Yeah.
so now I practice in commercial real estate. It is a very male-dominated field.
Sure.
Walking in looking like this, like I can't tell you how many times I've been waiting for a deposition to start, and the other attorney.
Reporter?
Yeah, the other attorney thinks I'm an assistant or the court reporter, and they're like openly discussing case strategy with their client in front of me.
Oh,
And
I love that. That's,
yeah.
And then they're like, shit.
But
She's
even-
part of the case.
But even like I worked in an office, it was just me and another male attorney,
Wow.
and people would call all the time and I'd answer, and they'd say I want to talk to the attorney.
Girl, uh-huh.
Speaking, and they're like, no, the attorney. I was like, yes, I heard you the first time.
I can hear you.
Yeah.
How can I help you? I can
Yeah.
already tell I'm charging you more.
And because we were 2 people in an office, 1 male, 1 female, they assumed I was his assistant.
That's
Yeah.
fun.
So I get a lot. And the paralegals all think that I'm also a paralegal, so they'll give me dirt because they all talk to one another.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, so I've definitely used it to my advantage.
Yeah, definitely.
And
That's
I
fun.
think people come in less prepared, thinking that I'm not going to know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
One of my first cases on my own, I was negotiating a dispensary lease in New York. And New York is like real estate heavy. Like their attorneys know their stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And this guy had been practicing law longer than I'd been alive.
Uh-huh.
And I was terrified. like terrified. I was like, he's gonna absolutely demolish me. I'm gonna get a horrible deal for my clients.
Sure.
And so we get on the phone, and he's like, says something completely irrelevant. And I was like, no, I don't think that's right. And he's like, aren't you calling on this property? And I was like, no, different one.
Oh.
And immediately, like, all of my nerves went away, imposter syndrome went away. I was like, if this guy can practice this way and charge what he charges,
You didn't have the right property.
I'm golden. He had no idea what he was talking about.
Yeah. Well, and my specialty, I worked in public health, and I'm a chiropractic physician, but I work with like specialists that were cardiologists and rheumatologists, and they misdiagnose shit all the time and wouldn't catch stuff. And I'd be seeing those same patients, and I'd be like sending them back. I'm like, by the way, I think they had a heart attack. Like, we should probably send this one out, doc. What do you think? Like,
Yeah.
Or I had a few people walk in the room. One guy said, one guy goes, shit. You're my attorney. You're my attorney. You're my doctor. And
I'm
was
rubbing
like,
off on you.
Yeah, you're my doctor. And I was like, is that okay? He's like, oh, I'm really uncomfortable. I was like, well, I'm not like doing like a prostate exam. Like, I'm adjusting your back.
Well, everyone is uncomfortable during a prostate.
Well, yeah, like he might have liked that more, but I'm like, I'm non-invasive, so no worries there. And then somebody else thought he was on punked. He thought it was, yeah, he was like, this is no. I'm like, we don't have to be an old man for this job. Like they expect, like it's like a pilot. They want an old man with a mustache, and I'm like, no. And I had that, and then I had somebody recognize me once from doing stand-up, and that got weird. He's like, I've been to your show, and they brought in a picture the next time. He's like, can you sign this for my brother? I'm like, this is getting
Stop.
weird. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He brought in a photo that he printed off the web, and it was like not recent because I had red hair in the picture, and I was like, where did you dig this up on my like Friendster or my MySpace?
What is a Friendster?
That came out before MySpace. I don't want to date myself, but I tried social media like when it was like hot off the press, man.
Okay.
Yeah, Friendster, and that stuff is stuck on there forever. So I still have pictures on Friendster.
Okay.
Yes, I had a mullet.
Did you really?
Not by choice, and this was in the early 2000s, so it was definitely not timely.
So I can Google this and find it.
A lot of people will after this.
I'm gonna print it and have you sign it.
My friend cut my hair. I let her cut my hair, and I said I wanted more volume on top. Don't tell people that as a woman that you want more volume on top, because normally that means like product and styling, but what she heard was cut it real short up there. So it was like, it took a while to grow that
Oh,
back.
that's phenomenal.
It wasn't a good year for me. And then another time, I wanted like fun bangs, and I
There's
saw
no such thing as fun bangs.
they weren't fun. I wanted them to be like past my eyebrows, and this guy gave me a forehead mustache. Like they were like an inch long.
Wait, that was a trend recently.
It's not a good look.
No.
It wasn't cute, and it looked like I was holding like a toothbrush on my forehead. That's what they looked like.
That's so funny.
Like they were too short to brush to the side, so I had to go buy fake hair and make myself like a bang toupee and clip it in for 3 months until my bangs grew back. I had the worst luck. So this is for all the people that have done my hair and my lashes and my nails, and I'm a pain in the ass client. I will tip you heavily, but there's a reason I'm a pain in the ass, because I have had a mullet, I have had orange spray tans, I have had a mustache on my forehead.
I have a solution. Don't take care of yourself.
Just let it go.
That's what I do.
Keep dating the couch surfers and don't worry about it.
Yeah,
They're
end
just
up
happy to have
me.
a roof over their head and a shower to borrow.
Yes.
See, that was my mistake.
And then it's like charity, and you're doing good work. You're welcome. Yeah, good karma.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what else I have for you today. Okay, this is fun. Who's the most outrageous client you've ever had? And did they pay you in cash, favors, or cupcakes?
Ooh, I want someone to pay me in cupcakes.
I wish too, actually.
The most outrageous client I've ever had? I mean, I do a really good job at vetting my clients. Like, I won't take on a crazy because I just don't have the bandwidth for it.
The bandwidth.
I don't. Like, I can be really nice until I'm not nice anymore.
And then you're like,
And I'm
okay.
so afraid of someone reporting me to the bar that, like, I just don't even open the door for the crazy. The most outrageous.
I like the crazies. They're kind of fun. Because then I have stories.
I mean, the most difficult things are when people are like, hey, so I'm buying a building and it's closing in 2 days. Can you form the entity for me?
In 2 days?
Yeah. Or like, hey, I'm loaning $45 million. Can you get the docs done today?
45 million?
Yeah.
Do you still have their number?
Yeah. But like,
Let me help your dating pool. Let's start there. But like, hey, I'm gonna refer you elsewhere, but would you like to meet for a latte? Come on, Ashley.
yeah, but they, like, same day. Like, you do realize that this takes
So
weeks.
they're not a planner.
No,
Okay.
no, not in my world. I wish they were.
You had a lady you talked to me about once. I don't think she was your client. I think she was someone you had to deal with. That was like a caregiver.
Oh yeah, that was one of my worst cases.
That was like trying to steal.
She did. Okay, so
Did she order her own cards and stuff? Like
yes,
gifts to herself?
so she was a caregiver for an not elderly. I mean, he was probably in his 70s,
Okay.
but had
Older
no,
chap.
yeah, had no family other than a brother in San Diego,
Okay.
and she started dating him.
Oh.
And she had
She allowed to do that as a caregiver?
probably not. And so she had her daughter move in with them and
That's weird.
paid her as his caregiver.
Oh.
And then
So she transferred the care, but kept it within the family to keep
Right.
the salary.
So now she's paying herself way more than a caregiver should be earning. Paying
Like how
her-
much?
She was paying herself like $120,000 a year.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
And her daughter was making like 80. And then
Wow. I wish I had thought of that years ago.
while he
I like old people.
I know. This is why I do what I do sometimes, to like protect these old people, because
Oh,
while
that's,
he was
that's what you were thinking. I was like, oh,
oh no.
I'll hang out. We'll watch Golden Girls. It's fine.
Anna Nicole like trailblazed for you.
That guy was like, I think he was dead.
I think he was too, but okay, so while this guy was in the hospital, she forged a power of attorney
Oh.
and took every cent out of his
Oh,
bank
that's
account and put it in her name. And so she stole close to like $250,000 from this guy.
But she got caught, obviously. That's why you guys were in
She-
court with her, right?
Well, she got caught and we got as much of the money as was left back. But when it finally got time for like the police to pursue it, she died.
No.
I know, and I to this day I'm like,
God
is
handles these
is
people.
that justice? Because like I really wish that she'd gone to prison. Like
Yeah. There wasn't she right? Well, the part that was funny about that, didn't you tell me she was writing herself Valentine's cards from him? or
she
something?
did. She wrote herself Valentine's Day cards. She was
I
like,
thought I was the only one. Now I feel
no,
less
she
sad.
was like, because she wanted to prove that it was a relationship and that she wasn't a caregiver.
This guy wasn't like catatonic on a cot somewhere.
Yeah, and then
Oh my
she
God.
would like pay her daughter with checks from him that she was signing.
Nice.
Yeah, it was diabolical, but it happens all the time.
Wow.
Yeah,
That makes me nervous. That's scary. Also, why I want to be here till I'm 96.
I mean, if there were ever a reason.
I mean, unless it was like a really shiny pool boy, maybe by then. I don't know. I don't even have a pool, but
Just do the reverse. You be the old guy and find like your male Anna Nicole.
that's what I was thinking.
Love this for
That's
you.
my retirement plan.
But
for
also
later.
there's a husband in the picture.
He's adorable. He's very cute.
Would he allow this?
I mean, I don't think he'd like a shiny pool boy. Now that I thought about that, I should have thought that through. I was single for so long, I forgot I just got married. That's right. No, plan B.
My shiny pole.
Yours.
I'll
We don't
share.
even have a pool. Yeah, that's true.
I have a community
That's
pool.
true.
How fun would that be?
God, it's so funny. He just put, Jet's volunteering. I got you, Jet. No, that's really funny. My husband's very cute actually, and it's funny because he just reminds me of like a Disney prince, and he likes to fight with strangers on Facebook. I don't know how he does this. I'm like, please don't do that because people will eventually
Is
will.
he 80?
I don't know what he's doing. He never was like on social media, and now because he's with me, he's doing all these things. And I'm like, yeah, but like people will see that you're my husband, and if you're talking like crazy shit like online, they're gonna be like, that's her husband. Like, boo, let's cancel her. Like, please don't fight with people on the internet.
This is the daily struggle to not get canceled.
Oh, it's awful. I don't like being a comedian in 2024 is not my fave because I'm like more of like the In Living Color type of comedy. Like, remember that show? Like, I like all that shit.
Again, before my time.
Oh, it was fantastic. Jim Carrey.
I
The
mean,
Wayans
I know
brothers?
what it is. I
There's
just
a reason
don't
they're
watch it.
famous. It was that show. It was fantastic. J-Lo was on it. She was a backup dancer. She did that a lot. She did
Really?
a lot of this move.
Okay.
So anyway, he got in a fight with somebody on Facebook, and the way she shut down the fight, she called him a blow-up doll-looking motherfucker. Best insult ever.
Are there male blow-up dolls?
I mean, I think I have one.
Well,
Push his button. That's what my husband sounds like. Put him on the
like
show.
this one?
That my mom got me that for Christmas as a joke because this is what my husband sounds like, and it's adorable.
Where do I
I think
push?
it's the other hand. You gotta squeeze his little hand. You push
Nothing
the
there.
button?
The ball game really isn't that important. I'd rather spend time with you.
This is the most terrifying thing I've ever held.
It's Mr. Wonderful. It's my Mr. Wonderful doll. Isn't that funny?
Why are his feet so big?
Here,
I think we all know.
as long as I'm with you, I
No man has ever said that in his life.
I mean, no, he doesn't say that, but the rest of it he does. Isn't that great?
Yes, this is great. This
Use
is a
it for
great
the-
gift from
I
your
use
mom.
it for the carpool lane.
Stop it. I do use my dog for the carpool lane.
Speaking of wild clients, let's get into it. O.J. Simpson. Dun dun dun!
Shockingly, I did not defend him.
What a great time to talk about the juice!
Yeah. What about it?
How are you feeling about things now that it's been all this time?
Okay, so I'm working at my desk, whatever day this was, and my little Amazon Alexa goes, ding ding, you have a notification. And normally it's like, you're out of coffee. Would you like me to reorder it for you?
Oh, maybe I should plug mine back in.
Oh yeah, they're fantastic.
It links to your fridge.
No, like based on your order history and how many pods there are, it'll tell you like,
What?
hey, yeah.
It knows how many pods you have?
Well, because I ordered them through Amazon.
Wow. I don't even know what kind of coffee maker I have anymore. I'm so bad. My tree is still up, for God's sakes. You're amazing.
True.
I
So I'm expecting it to tell me like, hey, you need to re-up on coffee.
You're out of your
All of a
Corona
sudden it
mode.
just goes, O.J. Simpson died. And that's it. That's my whole notification.
Okay.
And I stopped working and I look at this thing and I was like, what do I do with this information?
Test drive a Bronco.
Never, ever. And I don't like the new ones.
That's
how I found out.
random.
And then it just went back to playing my music.
Like,
Like nothing had happened. Like
Thank
the
you.
whole world hadn't shifted.
like, how did you know I love the juice? Like, thank you.
And it's never told me news. This is the first piece of news this device has ever given to me.
Wow. Wow. Mine used to tell me my horoscope, but I mean,
Oh,
that's.
that's cool.
I think yours was way better.
Wow. I think it was possessed. Like, I don't know where this information came from, but I needed to know.
It was probably him
that
himself. He's
OJ
like, I
died.
just want you to care. By the way, I kicked it today.
And then I went on with my day.
You're haunted by the juice. Great.
My grandma does live down the street from where it happened. So I remember
Oh!
driving past that house with
Spooky.
like all of the crime scene tape up. Yeah.
Yeah, the things I remember from that, it was very interesting because that was very much a social trial because it was so televised and it was
Yeah.
very heated after Rodney King, and so it kind of, that was, I think, a big influence at the time. I'll just say that. But there was some damning evidence, I will say.
And this is like my issue with the legal system, right? It's like you have a case like that where it's so blatantly obvious and you still don't get a conviction, and this is why I can't practice like that anymore. Like,
Do you think at this point in time it's socially like accepted that he did it? Like people are
I
like,
thought he admitted it.
I don't even know. All I know is I remember, and I was 12, I think, when all this happened. I remember he had a rare blood type that was found at the crime scene mixed with both of the two victims.
Yeah, I mean, it was
Like one of the rarest blood types in the world.
it was like
Remember that?
a crazy amount of evidence.
Yeah.
The
And the Bruno Magli shoe, like designer shoe footprints.
Yeah, the trial I did was a DUI case
Uh-huh.
where the driver was wasted,
Uh-huh.
like hit a car and pushed that car into the car of the person I was representing.
Oh.
So like a multi-car accident.
That's what sucks about the DUI people is that they like hurt and kill other people and like they're fine.
Thankfully, no one
They
was
shit
hurt,
themselves, but
it
they're
was
fine.
just all the time.
Covered in shit, but no one else is hurt.
This is why I got this case.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, it's poop, give it to Ashley.
Oh god.
No, but
Give it to Ashley the Esquire.
so California evidence does not allow a police report as evidence unless you have a police officer there to testify.
Really?
Yeah, because it's a document that can't be verified. It's insane.
That's California law?
Yeah, it's insane.
Okay.
Yeah. So couldn't get the police report in. The defendant didn't show up, so we couldn't ask him any questions.
Didn't show up for his own DUI case?
No, he just had his attorney there.
Okay.
And I mean, we went to trial over $7,000. Like, thankfully, this is not life or death situation that I find myself.
Not
in.
a lot of medical on that one, it was just like car damage.
That's the only one thing I was there for was
Okay.
the car damage.
Okay.
And I lost
Really?
because we couldn't prove that that middle car was pushed into the front car, and that's what caused the damage. Like what you think is such a slam dunk case, DUI,
Sure.
lost.
Wow.
Oh, I lost my little.
That's a
knobby.
your little mic knob.
Yeah, like 3 years after that, I had a roommate at the time. She invites a friend out to dinner with us.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you look crazy familiar. And we had like literally nothing in common. She was on my jury. And
Girl, why do I know you?
She was like, I really wanted to like decide in your favor, but the evidence just wasn't there. And so, you know,
of course.
3 years later, I tell her the truth, and she's like, that's horrible. But like, we very intentionally picked an intelligent jury,
Sure.
hoping that they would be able to like put the puzzle pieces together. Like, if this card gets pushed and this card gets pushed into it, that's how physics works.
Right, and they
But-
couldn't go with that?
They were like too intelligent that they were like, well, the judge said we have to look only at the evidence, and the evidence wasn't there.
Oh, wow.
And it was that day that I decided I never want to litigate another case in my life.
No. Did you see that show, Jury Duty?
Yes.
I watched it in like 2
You were
days.
the one who recommended it to me.
That show was so good.
Yeah.
For those of you who haven't seen it, look it up. It's not the movie Jury Duty with Pauly Shore. Not that one. The show Jury Duty. Fantastic. Because this guy is a juror. He's the only one that's not an actor. Doesn't know the rest are actors. It's fantastic. It's so funny.
Well, they had to do like a bunch of like recasting? I don't even know if that's the right word. I'm not.
Oh.
Because the guy kept talking about how he was such a fan of Parks and Rec. And the guy who ran sanitation in Parks and Rec was one of the actors.
Oh, they switched him out.
And
But
so
they left James Marsden on.
I know.
But he was playing an
It
actor.
was LA.
Yes. And he's
Yeah.
playing an actor. I love that. That's
Yeah.
kind of fun. Before I forget,
Yes.
how do we get out of a parking ticket or DUI, would you say?
Don't drive.
That's your advice?
That's my advice. Don't get behind a wheel and never get a ticket. No.
That's funny.
Thank you. So, my first legal job
Okay.
was working for a ticket and DUI office.
Oh, Mr. Ticket
Yes.
in San Diego.
Yes.
We don't have that here in Arizona. It sucks.
I'm sure it exists.
Dude, I'm financing tickets. I've had so many driving out to Vegas. I was late for Jimmy Kimmel. You're not late for Vicky Barbalak, honey.
Did you tell the officer this?
Yes!
Didn't care?
I invited him to the show. He
Really?
goes, I hope you have a good show. I'm really sorry. I still have to do this.
Oh
Because
no.
technically, you were going so fast it was a felony. I was like, all right.
So you don't need to write that. Okay, so I have tips that worked for when I worked in that office.
Okay.
How to get out of those photo tickets.
Okay.
So,
Oh, yeah, I just don't respond to them.
no, you have to respond.
Do you?
They're a ticket.
Oh, I ignore them.
I know. Okay, the other day my cousin was like, someone told me I don't have to respond to the jury duty thing, and I'm fine. And I was like, who did you ask this question to? She's like, adults. I was like, sweetie, you're 28. You're an adult. Who are you asking?
Someone that's 30.
And she was like, no, they said I don't have to respond and everything's fine. And I like showed her the criminal code to where she could have a bench warrant out for her arrest. I was like, the next time you're asking adults for legal advice, please call your attorney cousin.
They can send out a warrant if you
Oh,
don't
yeah.
have duty. I got out of it twice. I had a job write a note for me, like my employer said
Yeah.
it would be a undue financial hardship because they didn't have a way of
Yeah.
covering my position, and then they would not pay my salary when they being out for jury duty.
Yeah, I
And so-
mean, there's a level of professional courtesy that, like, even if I were to get picked for a jury, they'd just be like, no, and let me go. But I still have to show up. I know. Okay, so my traffic ticket, or the
Yes.
photo ticket.
very important.
So, if you ever have a passenger in your car in California, because this was a case, they got sued. If there's a passenger in the car, they will blur their face. The reason they got sued is a man, and I want to say it was Newport, but don't quote me on that,
Mm-hmm.
got a photo ticket mailed to his house, and his mistress was in the front seat, and his wife saw it, and he got divorced because of this. So now they blur the passenger's face.
Nice.
If you are going through a red light and you know that there's a camera, if you put your visor down
Oh, I always do.
and they can't see your face,
Yeah. Sunglasses too.
well, no, sunglasses they can.
No, I do the visor, sunglasses. Sometimes I bring a wig, like the new Jan Brady with the fro.
How
yeah.
many red lights are you running that you were this
All of them.
prepared? Okay.
Not like the red light, but like they do speed too.
Oh, that's an Arizona thing.
Mm.
So that's my little. Just
Put your visor down.
Put your visor
Love
down. They can't see your face.
Do they give tickets for using that carpool freeway thing, the 15? If you're not,
The fast track,
yeah.
it's a fine, because that's private.
Oh, I ignore those too.
That's
Okay,
private.
okay. Good to know.
And then my little DUI hack:
Hmm.
throw up if you can.
Like in the car.
Not in the car. I mean, then you have to clean it. But just like if they want to breathalyze you, throw up or burp as a last resort because it like brings up whatever is in there and it affects the reading. And so they
Okay.
have to like take you in.
Love it.
Yeah, and it gives you more time to sober up.
What about the weed thing? I mean, if somebody smoked within the hour or two,
I
can they
don't know.
really test that? I don't think so.
I haven't looked into it. Remember, I don't work there anymore.
Yeah.
This is outside of
I
my
know. I
scope.
don't have that here.
But-
I just feel like.
And also, none of this is legal advice. I don't know that this will actually get you out of it.
I mean,
just
I would
things I've
thought-
heard.
Yeah.
I have to give my little disclaimer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we need to start wrapping up the show. This has
Okay.
been very fun to have you here. Thank you so
Yay.
much. And you've helped me stay out of trouble for 7 years now, so I super appreciate you being here.
Of course.
We're gonna get into some trouble tonight.
Yes.
I'll be performing at the House of Comedy. Don't miss it. Show is Cocktails with Tony B at 7:30 tonight. My attorney will be there
In case anything bad
in
happens.
case anything happens, because you know I'm mischievous. All right. Love you much. Thanks for
I
being
love
here.
you. Thank you for
Thanks for
inviting
being
me.
here, guys. All right, bye. I'm gonna come over there and turn everything off now. So I'm gonna take. I should probably not knock over the microphone. I'm gonna go.
Nice job, ladies.
Thank you.
Wow, I learned so much. Yeah, that was awesome.
Oh.
I definitely don't know how to get out of a DUI now.
Well, let's not.
And we
drink
ran over.